Hello again, this is Tim Newsom here at the Bournemouth Clock Shop with Mark Taylor, the Master Clockmaker.
Hello again.
Now we've been away for a while because things have been happening, haven't they, in the shop. Look at the lovely floor and...
It looks lovely.
Yes, it's not lovely really?
Unfortunately, the stress you go through while it's being done is worse than moving home
I like to think
and the mess.
the care and the trouble that's gone into the floor reflects the care and trouble you put into your clocks.
Yes, exactly, because it's perfect and it does look beautiful.
Okay, we're here today to talk about carriage clocks,
Yes.
so perhaps we ought to move on. There's a tremendous variety, isn't there? There's just a few on the table. Take it away, Mark. Talk to us about carriage clocks.
Okay, carriage clocks. Basically, as the term implies, they were taken with you. They were sort of the first general portable clock. Because they didn't have a pendulum, of course, and if you went on a journey, you took them with you in a carriage. They always originally came in an outer box as well, with a strap on it. There's an example of a little tiny one here. But all of these clocks originally came with a velvet-lined, leather-covered box, just to protect the actual clock. They also had a front slide that you could take out, so you could actually tell the time while they were in the box. And if they were repeaters, which we'll come on to later, you could also depress a little button on the top, which would make them strike.
This button here.
That's right.
Do you want to just describe the cases, the names of them?
Yes, yeah. As you said, Tim, it's just astounding the very many different styles of case you can get. They've all got terms like onglaze and obis, and one piece, cannelly, gorget, bamboo, miniature, sub-miniature, giants and all the rest of it. So without confusing you too much, I've got some of the basic models here.
Right.
So we start off, that's a miniature. None of these clocks are restored yet, by the way. Originally they're all gold plated, which is polished off, so we re-gilded them. Like this one, we've had this one done. Now this is a miniature, not just a miniature, it's a timepiece, which means it doesn't do anything but tell the time, and it's got porcelain panels, which are made out of porcelain, hand finished, pink, very pretty. So that would be called a little boudoir clock, I suppose. It's also important that all carriage clocks have their own original platform escapement.
Right.
So that is all important because it can always be repaired. Don't let anyone talk you out into having it replaced with a modern Swiss one, because it will kill the value.
Okay.
So there we have a little miniature porcelain panel timepiece. Then we go on to a sub-miniature timepiece with an enamel dial and the usual beveled panels all around. And you have the handle on the top that folds down.
Okay, tell us, clearly this is imitating bamboo, is that?
It is imitating bamboo, and it's the French word for the style is bamboo, B-A-M-B-U, as opposed to double O. Very popular. This is unusual because it's got an architectural top. They're usually just flat across the top, but they look as though they're constructed out of actual bamboo. That's the idea of it. That's nice. This is a repeat. This strikes and repeats and has an alarm.
All right. Okay.
So further complications. You can get sonneries, petit sonnerie, grand sonnerie. That's striking the quarters as well. Here we have a Corinthian style case, because of the Corinthian capitals and the twisted pillars and just the very strong angular look of it. That's a large repeater, doesn't have an alarm. Repeater means that the clock strikes, but repeats at will, so that if you're asleep in the night, you can press the button in the dark and it will strike the last hour.
Okay, so we've got another repeater here, and this case...
This is a cannelly. This is a cannelly case.
It's a bit like a gorge case, isn't it?
Yes, with a weaker top.
Right.
Basically, the difference is that the gorge top was stronger, came up further. Now, the gorge and the cannelly were only used by the top Paris makers from 1885 onwards. So this is a nice one. Chamfered corners, beveled panels, strike repeat, nice white dial.
Are there any particular makers you would like to mention?
Well, yes, it's broadly accepted that Jacot was probably one of the better makers. Henri Jacot and also Drocourt, They're the names that people know about, and you can usually tell because of their little insignias on the back, their stampings. But there are other good makers, like Henri Lepouch, who made clocks for Paul Garnier and people, but had to hide his signature because the people he was supplying liked to sell the clocks under their own name.
Oh, right. Okay.
Now we come down to a little one-piece case. Now this is really the earliest form of carriage clock as we know it. They hadn't quite got the knack of how people wanted them, how they should look, and the manufacturing in larger numbers. So they call it one piece, but it's actually two plus the handle. But the pillars are not separate; they're cast as one piece. So we have like a table, 4 legs and a top, and then the base of the movement's fixture screws onto that. Early escapement. This one's actually dated, which you snack on, at 1860. So 1850 is the earliest you'll really come across a carriage clock in the form we know.
Right, okay.
1860 is quite early.
Now, I'm very interested to open this up. Perhaps you'd like to do it
Right.
for us and describe what's inside.
Now these are very popular, very nice, very pretty, quite valuable, and this is what we call a miniature silver carriage clock. This one is a solid silver, it's hallmarked 1899. The case, French movement, the case was made by Henry Matthews in Victoria Street in Birmingham, which is a jewellery quarter. Now this one is quite special because, well, it retains its original double-doored box. They usually have a top door. It had to be made out of thicker silver because rather than being plain or embossed as they normally were, which is squeezed between two moulds to sort of press a pattern into the thin silver, this one has been hand engraved by a master graver.
Now, I'd just like to interrupt because I know you're very keen on the difference between engravings. And
Yeah.
some engraving is much better than others. Would you like to explain more and whether that's a good quality engraving?
Yeah. Basically, the finest graving is not just angular markings or symmetrical markings. It's when every space is actually used and filled with varying degrees of cuts, close together, finely done, accurately done. Because don't forget, if I show you my graver here, because I do a bit of engraving over repairs, all of these designs, this was a plain carriage clock case, this was just plain pure silver, and then when it's formed, a master engraver has got this graver, this is a knife edge graver, and he's gone in and he's actually dug in and cut all of this out. Some people call it chasing. Chasing is just scratching. This is actually engraved, and you see the broadness of the lines. Not only does he have to control the depth and the curls, the flow, but he also has to angle the graver as well to make broader cuts rather than just a fine cut. So all the time he's coming round like this, scooping in there, and then not only just going round and forcing against the metal without slipping, he's actually turning the graver, rolling it as well to give a broader cut. So that is actually fantastic work. So this is a better quality and quite special because it's not embossed, which is just pressing. This has had a master engraver spent hours and hours and hours putting these various designs. So this is floral rococo, and that is just absolutely exquisite.
It's really lovely, Mark, and I think we've packed a lot of information into there, so much that I might just save my tin-based facts for next time.
Oh, you must have time for one at least.
What, like towns in Mali and
Townsend, that, go on. I'll buy it.
Timbuktu?
Timbuktu. Well, that's a bit thin, that one.
Okay, well there is actually an airport in Papua, Indonesia, which has the airport code of TIM.
Oh, really?
We'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.